Hey guys, Mike here from FBA Empire. Just wanted to reach out to you guys. I know this is Thursday, so it's going to be our second episode of FBA Empire Weekly. I'm actually still here in Boston. As you can see, this is my hotel behind me. It's my last business meeting I got today before I head back to South Carolina. And just wanted to touch on really three main things for this week's episode. And so first off, I actually do want to give a shout out to two people. First off, I want to give a shout out to Larry. I know people have had a lot of questions about why the ASIN numbers keep popping up in their ad reports and whatnot, and Larry found a link, shared it with the entire forum. So really appreciate that, Larry. Hope your product's doing well. The second shout out that I want to give actually is to Ben. And Ben is a member of our course. He was one of the first people ever in FBA Empire. And I'm about to show you, he just hit his first 300 sale day ever. I think it was 309, 310 if I'm not looking at this correctly. And again, just congratulations, Ben. That's an amazing day. We're gonna talk more about that later. But again, job well done. So the first thing I did want to talk about today on top of this video was everyone seems to really be stressing about suppliers and whatnot. And something I want to kind of remind everyone, especially after you order a couple times, I think people tend to get a little too complacent with their supplier, especially when you think you find a pretty good one. I know that's definitely something that Nathan and I have done. And just to stress that point, that's actually why I'm in Boston. We had a pretty good supplier for the product that we sell right now. And slowly by slowly, we're kind of noticing things, not that they were bad, it's just things, maybe could be a little bit better. And so we went out looking for a new supplier. And I cannot tell you how grateful that we did. Here in Boston, just to give you guys kind of an update, we found a supplier that's probably double the size of our current one. And they were able to, and we negotiated with them, they were able to cut all of our costs, all right, our actual manufacturing costs by 39%, all right? We literally went from $5 a product all the way down to $3.10 a product, all right? It was, I cannot tell you, all the things we used to be charged extra for, this little bit extra design work, putting on the labels, shrink wrapping, all that kind of stuff, all 100% included inside the cost now. We even got upgraded our product a little bit to something that we were told was too expensive by our last supplier. That's now included in our $3.10 product price point. And so again, when you get to that certain point and you're 3-6 months into this FBA business, again, there's nothing wrong with looking around a little bit. Maybe you end up staying with your supplier because you have the best supplier. But to look around and whatnot, you have to remember this is a business first. Nathan and I definitely did get complacent. And now, just to see a savings of 39%, it is insane what that does for our profit margins on our daily sales. And especially when we go to sell our product. The second point that I want to bring up, and this was actually leading into really what Ben had covered, and it leads into price point. And so as you can see on top of Ben's lightning deal, he's selling his product for over $20, and so his lightning deal, I'm guessing he sells it even higher than that usually. And why this is so important, this is something that we really stress, I think is a lot different than other people, is why the price point is so important. We really don't like to sell anything under $20. Usually between 25 and 60 bucks seems to be kind of like that sweet spot for us. But the biggest reason is that when you have that higher price point, it really allows you to use your ads to bully your way to the top, if that makes sense. Especially as Nathan covered in some of the last ones with some of the changes to review policies and all these kind of things that are going on. It really does make a huge difference if you have a large price point, so that you can, again, kind of buy your way to the top with the ads to get those initial sales going. Once you have those initial sales going, and if you're profitable with those ads, you'll be able to keep it running as others, again, they try giveaways, they try this kind of stuff that Amazon frowns upon now. Basically, you will rise up in the organic rankings. And when you make those organic sales, that's when you're really gonna make some really nice profit, right? I would imagine that anyone selling over 20 bucks, in general, I don't want to talk too much about profit margin, but what I would say is that you should be looking from anywhere, if you're selling it over $20, you should be looking at anything from $8 to $10 after ad spend. That should be your take-home profit. On organic sales, that should be even a little bit more because you're not spending that much money on ads. And so, again, one of the biggest things, I know some people like, you know, sell the $7 items. They only cost 30 cents from China. We don't think it's worth it. Again, you don't have to agree with us. We just truly believe between 20, really 25 to 60 bucks, that's the sweet spot you want to be in. And when you do a lightning deal as big as Ben's, you can see how much money that brings in at a single time. And that's awesome. All right. And last thing that we want to talk about is lightning deals. And so this is even a bigger reason for the higher price point. And as I mentioned, you know, Ben did just crush on top of lightning deal. But the reason he was able to do so, not only one, because of his high price point, but two, he factored in money that Amazon will be taking away. And so what I mean by that is Amazon still takes the normal fees and whatnot every single time you do a lightning deal. What they've started to add though is an additional $300 on top of everything that they're already charging you. I've heard that this could go as high as $500 within the next couple months. And the reason this is a big deal is because for all the Amazon sellers that are selling around $7, $6, when they do a lightning deal, most of them, to be honest, break even, or they actually lose a little bit of money, but they make so many sales, it's worth it for the spike in the organic rankings, so they just eat it anyway. But now, if you're asking them to lose 1,000 units, you're asking them to give away $1,000, let's say they're using a dollar a unit, and then you're asking them to pay an additional 500 bucks. I mean, it really starts to get out of control. And so because of that, even this is why the price point's so important. And so myself, Ben, any of our members, they can run as many of these lightning deals as possible, because if you're profitable, I mean, I don't care if I was making $2,000 before and I have to give $300 back now, so I only made $1,700. I'm still spiking my BSR, I'm rising in their organic rankings, and I'm making a ton of sales. Every other week is what they're now allowing you to schedule a lightning deal with if you pay for it. All right, and that's huge. I mean, think about it. Every other week you could have a 300 sale day. And that's only going to get you higher and higher to that's your normal day, and your lightning days will be 500, 600, 700 sales that day. All right, so again, I hope that made sense. Just a quick recap. I do want to make sure, never get complacent with your supplier. Always look for something better. Doesn't mean you have to jump ship, but at least, you know, every couple months, take a look and see what's out there. Two, price points, so important. Stay away from those $7, $9 items. It's rubbish. Just don't even waste your time with it. Lastly, lightning deals. Make sure the product you choose has enough profit to run lightning deals, and get one and use one every single chance you get. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I do have to head to my last meeting here in Boston. I'll be flying back home to South Carolina tonight. And hope you guys enjoyed this week's video, and we'll see you guys next week, Thursday. Thanks.